elsewhere. So we have serious problems. It's sensitive to these situations because we have local law enforcement essentially ordered not to do their job. So we have a unique zone I want to talk about. To be able to deal with potential espionage situations. These could be things like burglaries, major theft beyond $250,000, mandatory fingerprinting, finger checking, going for fingerprints, right? They're banned. They're banned from doing any form of this activity now by a bunch of crazy policies that are diabolically opposed to the Constitution of the United States. The regime of California has invented a series of practices as well as law enforcement throughout the state not to pursue anything to protect citizens from foreign spies. There's huge flashing signs put out by the regime saying that spies can do this. President Trump has basically undone everything that President Biden did, and there are good reasons for that, actually, because some people just don't understand some of these policy changes that were put into effect. And a lot of this, again, is coming from a lot from the regime of California, these various players and figures who have basically evolved and violated the Constitution of the United States at extreme levels. So let me talk about a little bit of the restoration we need to do. Obviously, we need to immediately arrest, it looks like more than 4,000 people in the California regime because they're directly connected to aiding and abetting and election rigging. So when parties like Julie Su abscond with all the money, the Congress ordered to be distributed to people. And do things like people complain, we're entitled to compensation. Oh, yeah, there's 1.2 million. We'll find four investigators. That's only going to take 10 years to straighten out. I mean, we're only in the middle of an emergency, right? Right? So, yeah, she took the money from the federal government that Congress ordered. She absconded with it. She put it into multiple accounts and started giving, it looked like more than $30 billion out to people who were not citizens, who didn't have ID. Then she invoked strict compliance items. In fact, those are ridiculous. They're so strict that they won't allow people to basically, who are entitled to get money. We have computer shampoos, computer jam-ups. There's a vast array of what these people have done. It's going to take us years to sort this out. And we need to do custody situations. We need to do two in custody. We have to get an intensive repeated interrogation from her to actually answer questions. We can't allow her to be constantly doing this diversionary answer stuff. When a person's opposed to her, she has to answer. Mistreatment that has occurred, and she has to answer exactly. And frankly, to be perfectly honest, the best way to probably get answers out of her is to probably place her in a lie detector. That's standard government policy in California. It's been that way for many decades. We'll just put her in the most advanced unit. We'll put her in an fMRI. We'll administer, proof pharmaceuticals, basically. And we will intensely interrogate her about what she did, when, why, who's affected, all the mindsets behind it, all of it, all of it. And we're going to go into her revealing intimately what she did with these other people because she's violating national security. She's attacked archivers. She's attacked the process of elections. She's attacked national security information. She's attacked various security of businesses, sustain business and maintain security. The list goes on. Frankly, I kind of slowed down counting them after I got over 3 million violations committed by Julie Su. Over 3 million. And basically, she's connected to the Newsom ticket. Newsom's directly connected to the treason. He cheated in elections. They have something known as algorithmic isolation. They are isolating everybody's electronic devices that they deem necessary to basically rig elections. So the Constitution says if we have an emergency, that you have to deal with things. So we end up having an apparent declared, right? Get this straight. Okay, we have Democrats that says, we have an insurrection and rebellion problem. Yeah, no duh. But they're going to say, that's only January. Well, wait a minute. But they victimize that most all of them are patriots. Some of them want to be patriots, and frankly, kind of feel the tension that there's something wrong. But they don't quite got the whole thing down. The reason they don't have paperwork is because the people created a conundrum. They created a conundrum, and they won't allow people to investigate various things that occur. And this includes spies and foreign countries. So now we have, moving forward, I jump around to the present, okay? We have both parties basically saying that there is a problem now. And this is the whole list that we, as these items in together, total, we have invasion, insurrection, and rebellion. Okay, just these guys like me that have archives, I'm a candidate, I have national security information, I'm an origin developer of key analyst work that could be crucial to the United States. Okay, my 9/11 work barely has people mentioning it, but it's mind-boggling. The assessments are mind-boggling. The accuracy, mind-boggling. Okay? So I'm the guy on the phone on 9/11 to the Pentagon, and, I'm using like a payphone. I know I'm surrounded by sounds like, I'm a vacation analyst. I can't get to any of my stuff. This is my assessment of what I believe is going on. I wrote about it. And I tell them. And you can hear this team in the background, and they're like, is this guy for real? And all of a sudden one of them goes, I just found this guy's letter. Let me read this. And they read the letter and they go, Ethan, no, this is it. Read this. Look, I'm passing it to everybody. You can hear it on the line. And these guys are going, oh my God. Yeah, we're going to keep this guy. And I'm going to jump forward. Because that whole team of people is dead now. And they're dead because an aircraft crashed into the building. They screamed. I could hear them scream. They were professionals to the end. I'm telling you that. Right to the end. Even though they were screaming, they conveyed information. They were professionals. All the way to the end. I'm not the kind of guy, I don't owe an apology when I have to inform the United States Secret Service that, this scenario deals with two-stinger missile camps. And I'm telling you right now that there is every reason to believe. There is a 92% to 98% likelihood, I'm serious, that there's two-stinger missile teams laying in wait to shoot down the president's aircraft. And I'm not joking. And in this scenario, I'm telling you right now, if this is happening right now, I guarantee you, there are other breaches happening. I guarantee you. Nobody unleashes a plan like this and doesn't have penetration going on, doesn't have master breaches going on. I'm telling you, it's happening. We have to move the president in a brand new way that's never been predicted or utilized before, because that's the only thing that's going to save and guarantee our nation. It is going to immediately translate out into giving power right back into the president's hands, because after he appears someplace else, all these people that would be communicating with these Stinger missile teams would realize the predictability of what they thought would happen with respect to the president's movement has changed. It's changed. All bets are off. It's all changed. The whole program has changed. That's how you put power back into the president's hands. That's how you give extra time. They put security in force. They understand what the scenario is. They get people out there. They found both these things. They captured one missile. They didn't have these missiles. They ditched one. These people ended up in Guantanamo. I owe no apology to delay the president and have him move to a different location. Because once he was moved there, once that news conference happened, at that moment, the world saw the president going to safety. And everybody was trying to figure out, okay, the president's on it, he's going to safety, he's surrounded by professionals who are working on this situation, and his decision is absolutely the right one. Now that the people who potentially threaten to try to trigger a nuclear war, have their plan foiled, this means they changed their operation. They have dirty bomb agents all over the world. Dirty bomb agents all over the world. There's a lot. But all of a sudden, because they couldn't down the president's aircraft, they couldn't continuously move forward with their 555 scenario to basically trigger a limited nuclear war, because they wanted to take over the Middle East. They wanted to destroy Saudi Arabia. They wanted to destroy Israel. They wanted to take over and do their version of a false prophecy situation, 555. So at that moment, the broadcasts go out, all these people who were against, who were trying to do this plan, just realized that's not part of the scenario. What just happened? They have no accuracy anymore. All these people that were placed to get intelligence, to flip it, to throw it over to the guys so they can move this thing on missile team, to converge on the president's location. It all changed. Everything changed. At that moment, the president now has on-the-track power in his hands. That message goes out, all these people are in confusion all over the world. But the president's not in confusion. He knows they're putting in security right now all over Washington. So he says, hey, I'm flying back to Washington. I'm going into strength. I'm standing up. I'm the president. I'm going to command. That's exactly the right thing to do. And the reason that guys like me make assessments like that is so people who need those assessments can work with that information. The idea that terrorists were planning to exclusively utilize Boeing aircraft in a major multi-aircraft attack, a 4-7-plane scenario. That's exactly what we ended up with. But luckily, all these people were thrown on guard. The president says, that's it. I'm standing up. Now these people don't know what's going on. They think the president's stuck in a bunker. No, the president is in command, returning to Washington. Massive security is searching through everything to see if anybody is doxing the president, an area for Stinger missile people to shoot, if there's any Stinger missiles. Massive. So the president lands, goes back to the White House, and he is firmly in command. That's how you pivot power back into the hands of the presidency. That's how you end up putting confidence out there. And that's how you avert people who think that they have infiltrated and created a large plan to trigger a nuclear war. Because that's exactly what Bin Laden is trying to do. And I'm telling you, I don't even know if we intercepted all the dirty bomb material. We got some of it, I know that. So when I'm doing certain work, it's important. It does pertain to national security. So when I have to listen to these bozos in the regime put forth their false policies and open the doors wide open to spies. Oh, these bozos, wide open to foreigners. It's wide open to illegal aliens. It's also wide open to spies. They're ordering law enforcement and the prosecutorial system and the judges of the state not to respond properly with respect to national security. Because national security is everywhere in the United States. It's at every place, every level. It's with you in your car when you drive down the road. It's with you at your home with your kids. It's at your school. It's everywhere. And any person that's brilliant can do proper analyst work. Any person. They can be in an apartment any place. Their research can be so valuable, it's mind-boggling. It's mandatory to assist parties if they come under attack, but not according to the California regime. The mass dereliction of duty. There's never supposed to be a delay. There's never supposed to be dereliction of duty. So let's look at trifecta combination effects here, people. I'm a candidate and archiver, and I deal with classified information as well as economic back modeling and all kinds of stuff. And what do all these people want to do in the regime? Delay, delay, delay. There's no such thing as delay. Archive comes under attack. I mean, could you imagine? We're the policy. Let's just compare this across time and space here. Let's compare these policies. Hey, the library of Alexandria is on fire. We need some more water brought forward. Oh, can you send us a letter and we'll get around to reading it in maybe 6 weeks? And people go, oh, don't be ridiculous. That's not what these people are doing. They don't have policy like that. That's absurd. Have you ever been to the Pacific Palisades? Have you ever seen truly and investigated some of the stuff that's going on? These people are beyond incompetent. These people have gone to foreign lectures. They've accepted materials and money to deliberately destabilize this nation. That's you. That's me. That's your small business. That's your medium business. Everything they're doing has to do with foreign instrument governance development. It's designed by the Royal German Empire. It's implemented into the creations that they bought and paid for called Marxism, Communism, and Socialism. It's always been a problem in Europe. 300 million people in the world are dead connected to it. The Royal German Empire is all that faded away. But there are child mechanisms that they designed to destabilize and take over Russia. Lenin. All these child organizations heavily funded. These organizations evolve. They're designed to acquire people that are mentally ill. These things are highly dangerous. So, what we're talking about is European instrument government design. They're all flawed. They're designed deliberately to destroy countries like the United States, like the Constitution of the United States. False taxation. Repeatedly, false taxation, destabilize people's lives, destabilize businesses. They're intentionally designed to do that. This type of concept was known by our forefathers. That's why it's supposed to be unconstitutional. So we have a bunch of people that are not willing to follow the constitutional mindset. But, hey, we got a problem. Some of our forefathers were not as smart as the other forefathers. They just didn't have access. They didn't put enough time into tactical table analysis. They didn't bother to do tactical table exercises. And as time goes on, you get a lot of people. They did not have access. They didn't get to watch a good building, a spy building, Prussian spy building, or a Royal German Empire spy building closet, or a common mage thing. He'll lead a people working with tactical data logic on mass scale, designing ways to destabilize your life, your business, and government. This is the truth. This is what we've done. We have abundant evidence of this. We've done good work with these people. And their child mechanisms are still not dead yet. They're full of deception and mass murder. They're full of designing falsities. They're full of destroying education. Destabilization across the board on a wide spectrum. That's who these people are. That's what they've been doing. The mathematical logic formalization for tactical table understanding. To understand the full scope of that is something that's definitive. So of course these people want to participate in attacking archives. They can find lots of clever ways to do things because there's all kinds of evidence of them doing it. We have decade after decade after decade of things they did. Things they lied about. They lied about people's cars. My grandfather, I remember him. He says, these people are coming in, they want to go after your home, your number one asset, and they want to go after your car, your number two asset. He says, you know, if I had the very first car that I bought, I could buy a house with it. Yeah, he had a really nice little sports car. So, you know, here's the thing. These people lied. They called people's cars junk. They've been in false laws. They've harassed these people. They literally, practically verbatim, took European instrument design, occupation, and government design standards and applied them in the United States. It's a major constitutional violation. And people are just trying to slough it off. It's very actionable. And we're surrounded by people who are cowards. Surrounded by people who want to get a payoff. Oh, do I get a bribe if I endorse your illegal plan? This is despicable. We have mathematical combinations coming into play as we're now going to be implementing a completely new level of math economic modeling. The Chinese have already done it. I talked about it when I first started running for president in 2005. People laughed at me. I said, no, we have a situation where we can immediately spend $36 billion a year on economic modeling software, so we're going to be able to understand us versus all of them, whoever them are, and give pivot control back into the hands of American citizens. We do this, we can turn things around. We can take the middle class that's in the process of disintegrating, and we can upgrade it, we can enhance it. By destabilization, computer and understanding the future of automation, robotics, AI. Destabilization, I mean looking for 10 years ahead of time. 25 years. I wrote a report 25 years ago that blows away anything that Bernie Sanders would have just admitted. People have no idea where it is. It was destroyed in an archive that came under attack. National security has been violated, people. You need to stand up. You need to understand what's going on. You need to understand which of us are more valuable players. Why? Because we keep coming under attack. I don't know if any of you have noticed how many times people are trying to focus violence at the president, and he'll tell you straight out. Apparently anybody that's a valuable person gets pursued by his wackos. This is reality. This is what's happening. I have people trying to kill me on multiple occasions. I have people laughing at me. When I'm submitting information, even a part of it, to Shirley West, announcing that, there's a bunch of evidence involving RICOs, We have all this information. The archive keeps coming under attack. We need to investigate Julie Sue. I need the money. I need to be compensated immediately. We have a huge security problem. We can't be forced to stay at home and be shut down. We have to maintain certain activities to be able to maintain security. Security, basic security. And she just tells me to F off. So the state of California owes me money and doesn't want to pay me, and I'm a candidate. They want to lie. They're filthy liars. I put that information out all over the web. These people are liars. Prosecuted for the shows of they're even college. Yes, you picked the wrong path. You got everything to figure out. Never feel like it.